guys, dearyoongi here, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be talking about some K-pop songs that I didn't initially like that eventually grew on me. Title to be decided. I don't know if that wording sounds great. Please note that these are just my opinions, and I am in no way intending to send any hate towards any artist or individual with this video or any of my others. If you like these songs, then that is great. I am also saying that I do like them now. It's just initially there was certain reasons why I didn't like them, or I wasn't the biggest fan, but then I eventually changed my mind, and here's why. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get started. First song I want to discuss is Mago by Friend. I have to start with this one because it's quite a funny concept when you think about it. If you have seen my 2021 Spotify Wrapped or my top most listened to tracks of 2021 videos, you'll know that this song is actually my most listened to song of 2021, and I listened to it like pretty much 100 times. But get this, I didn't like the song when it came out. I know, right? Not gonna lie, I think I mentioned this in my Spotify Wrapped video, but before Mago, there was never really a G-Friend song that I immediately loved from the very first listen. They all had to grow on me after some time, and this was one of them as well. I don't even remember why I didn't like it, because it's not like I don't love the retro concept. I usually do. And they executed it so well, it suited them perfectly. Even the music video, it was just also aesthetically pleasing. But I was just not vibing it at first. But oh well. Things change, and I eventually changed my mind after a few listens. I quickly began to love it, and I became obsessed. But yeah, isn't it funny how things work out? Next song I didn't like from first listens was Rock With You by 17. This time I wanna rock with you, more like I'm so embarrassed about this one because I adore 17's pretty much whole discography, but because I'm a full-grown adult who can admit when she's wrong and I know how to deal with growth, let's talk about this. I wasn't too keen on, I think it's the transition from the verses to the chorus. I just don't think I enjoyed it because I was expecting a harder hitting chorus, I think. And the first chorus is alright, but then after that they're all so high, it's hard to follow, but don't be mad at me because it grew on me very quickly. Of course, I know it's not been out that long, but it didn't take me long to love it either. The same thing happened with Home Run, by the way. So perhaps I'm just going through a bit of a dumb era where I just need to get used to the fact that 17's releases aren't what I was used to, and I just need to grow with them and their sound because it's super cool how well they're executing it and broadening their style. Next song I didn't initially like when it came out was Black Mamba by aespa. When this song came out, it was only a debut of course, but I didn't really get the buzz around it as much as I thought everyone else was from the hype that it seemed to be getting. I think I was just expecting more, but now I think I've grown to like the song more, and that weirdly enough has come from not being a fan of their more recent releases. Is that weird? So like personally, I'm not a huge fan of Savage, but it made me go revisit the likes of Black Mamba to see how we've gone from there to here, which of course is funny because yes, I didn't like it at the time it came out, but now when I re-listen to it, I noticed that the instrumental is really great. It's really fun. It is good and it helps the song be so catchy. And there wasn't anything wrong with it like I thought there was, other than me just having super high expectations because of the sort of things you see online, which I think can be so toxic because it really does alter your mindset to expect so much all the time when really that's not necessary. It was only their debut and they were still trying to find their way. There was no need for my expectations to be, so sky high. Black Mamba did in fact make a lot of sense for them as a debut and them trying to find their way in the industry. It was a smart release from SM because it made sense at the time. Next up, we have Me by CLC. I think that it was the beat drop that I was unsure of when this came out. I wasn't really a fan of like the offbeat beat drops. Like when the beat drop happened, I just didn't like it because I was not expecting the build up to lead us there. But the more I listened to it, the more I got used to it and I knew what to expect in future, if that makes sense. And I grew to like it because it is a good beat drop when you get past the having issues with the anti-drop. The rest of the song is so likable and those pre-choruses are so good that eventually it made a lot more sense to me that the beat drop was the way it was. And I just grew to get over not being a fan of it initially. Things can sound weird to you on first listen, that's fine, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. When you get used to it, you're like, okay, yeah, no, that's great. On a very similar note, another song that I didn't like when it came out was Backdoor by Stray Kids. 3, 2, 1. This again, of course, was that beat drop. The sound in the beat drop was just odd to me at first. I don't want to say annoying because it sounds mean, but it was kind of in that realm. I'm so sorry. I just couldn't vibe with it, especially because we were coming from God's Menu and I was obsessed with that song. But it grew on me quite quickly, to be honest. And if you've seen my most played songs of 2021 video, then you'll know that this was one of the Stray Kids songs that did the best for me in there. So I'm hoping that this proves that it did grow on me. I promise I'm not a hater. I don't know how or when it happened, but I think perhaps again it's a case of me getting used to the drop and the fact that it does make sense for the song. It's nice that it's different, not everything has to be the same. I think it was just the different that threw me off at first, but there's nothing wrong with a bit of different. It's a nice listen sometimes when things are not what you expect. Another one that I didn't like when it initially came out is Zombie by Purple Kiss. Again, I'm a little bit embarrassed about this one because I love the song so much now and I feel like I talk about it a lot in different videos because I do genuinely love the song. So it's weird to think back to a time where I didn't like the song because so far I've been loving everything Purple Kiss do. I think again it was just those expectations. Like with the song being called Zombie, I kind of was expecting like a darker concept, which would be really interesting to see them try. And I wasn't a fan of how we have that nice chorus and then we have just the repetition of zombie in the post-chorus. But eventually it grew on me because I do like the concept, and to be fair, it makes a lot of sense for them and for the song to not be darker. It suits them really well and you can clearly see what they were going for with it. It's not like it's confusing or anything. And I like that it was so different from their debut concept because it just shows that they're versatile, really. And I'm excited to see what else they'll do in future to prove how versatile they are. So I am sorry, Purple Kiss, that I judged before I fully understood. Next up, let's talk about Bicycle by Chungha. I was kind of put off by this song originally because it was a bit of a shock. Of course, that rap I think a lot of us aren't very keen on, and the concept did throw me off. I haven't seen anything like this really specifically from Chungha before, and I wasn't sure if I was a fan, to be honest, of the blatant innuendos throughout the whole song. I'm gonna be honest. But it did grow on me quite quickly because I couldn't deny that the general style of the song is right up my street. I'm really fond of like the bad girl anthems, you know? It's really empowering and I love that she's embracing that power through her music now. I'm 100% all for that sort of thing. Yeah, the rap's not the best, but she's not a rapper. We know that. There's way more to it than that. We do have the great beat. Her vocals are amazing as always. There's a choreo. There is a lot more to it and it is a bop when you think about it. And when you get past the lyrics. But I think we can all agree we've probably heard worse lyrics, so it's not necessarily a problem. And last but not least for this video, another song that I didn't initially like when it came out was I'm Not Cool by Hyuna. I think it was just a bit lackluster for me, and that's why I wasn't originally keen on it. I was expecting a lot more than we got, knowing how solid some of Hyuna's previous releases are. Like, I'm from the Hyuna era Red, you know? Like, her discography was so strong. But it did eventually grow on me because it's so catchy, and not every song has to be, you know, what you're expecting from Past Reputation or what you were expecting them to release. Our expectations can be so high based on the past, but there's nothing wrong with an artist going in new directions sometimes. At the end of the day, it's just a fun, catchy song with a fun instrumental, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is the concept that she's decided to go for now, and it suits her. Again, like when Purple Kiss did Zombie, it just proves again how versatile she is, that she's gone from like the bad, sexy image to now like a more fun spin on it that's kind of like a bit more quirky. Hyuna has been in the industry for quite a while now, so the fact that she's still able to produce new and interesting, innovative concepts is great, and it just shows how strong she is as an artist, to be honest. Okay guys, and that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far. Please let me know your thoughts on these songs in the comments. I do of course have way more, so if you'd like a part 2, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell to be the first to hear whenever I upload. I am trying to produce new content at least once, if not twice a week, so I'd love to have you along for the ride with me. And as always, my social medias will be on screen. You'll see my Twitter and Instagram if you'd like to give them a follow. I always follow back fellow K-pop fans, so let's be friends. And I will see you next time. Bye guys!